Hello geeks, in this video we will see how can we perform a pull operation. So for performing it we need to clone our remote GitHub repository to our local desktop folder, and we will see the scenario where we need to perform this cloning and this pull operation. So let us consider a scenario where we need to change something in the code or something in our project file at remote GitHub repository. So for that we need to perform the pull operation. We need to clone the remote GitHub directory to our folder at VS Code, or in whatever the ID you are comfortable with. You can clone it to your remote to the local desktop, and then you can perform the changes. You can add the files, you can add the codes to it, and then later on you can publish to your GitHub repository. So the changes will be reflected in the GitHub. So let's see how can we do that. As you can see, I'm at home page of the GitHub, and now we will go to the repositories. So this repository we have created in the last video, where we have uploaded this user control project on this test repository. So in this video we'll see how can we perform the clone operation and how can we use this pull command. So for that we first need to create a folder at our desktop. So I will create it as test. Now we need to open it in VS Code. So file, open folder. On the desktop I have created test. Okay, so select the folder. So it will take a few seconds to load. Now go to the terminal, new terminal, and it's loading. So first of all we need to create a repository which is a GitHub repository in the desktop. So for that we have to initialize this test folder as a GitHub repository. So to do that we will perform git init command, which will initialize this empty folder as GitHub git repository. Okay, now we need to perform git pull operation. This will clone the remote repository to our local repository. Okay, so we need to copy this URL and we can go to this VS Code. We will paste the link and just hit enter. So now it's cloning the remote repository. Okay, so we can see the changes in our folder. So we can see the user control which was on the GitHub. So now we need to perform some changes on the user control folder. So I'm adding readme.me file to it, and we will add some message into it. This is my readme file. Okay, now I will save it. And also we need to perform, if we need to perform some changes in some of our codes, like in this I am performing something, like I'm adding something system dot log. Okay, and this message will be hello. So all these operations I have performed, and now I need to check the status, that how much of my file is being tracked by Git, or how much is left out. So for that we need to check with the help of git status command. So this says that one of my file has been modified and one of this file has been added. So for that we need to execute this git add dot command. This will include all the changes to it, so that performing the commit command will be easier. So when we will perform the commit command, so all these changes will be committed at that time. So now let's perform the commit. So git commit -m second commit. This is the message I'm providing to it. Now hit enter. So it's saying that this two file has been included. Okay, now what we will do, we will add this repository at our desktop to the remote repository using git remote add origin space the address, which you can copy it from the same URL, and you can here you just need to use git remote add origin and the URL from the GitHub. Now we will perform git push origin master. So now the changes will be reflected to our GitHub repositories. So it says that the changes has been reflected. So now we will load to see the changes. So here you can see a readme file has been added, which has the message that we have entered. This is my readme file, and we can also see the changes in our CS file, which must be somewhere here. Yeah, this message that we have entered is here. In this video we have seen that how can we clone our remote GitHub repository and how to perform pull operations. So thank you so much and keep learning.